The heart of Manhattan. The heart of Manhattan,
The
Madison
heart.
Square Garden. Although you wouldn't know it unless they told you, because it just does not look like Madison. I've never seen as long a walkway to the ring as they had there for Madison Square Garden.
Well, what they did was traditionally in the Garden, the guys came out the side, and it was a short walk to the ring. And people say at WrestleMania 10, Brett and Owen, whatever, the right across from the hard camera, it was a short walk. Back in the old days, that was because they didn't want the talent to have to walk that far through the people because the heels would get fucking stabbed. But then and the locker rooms are right behind that the boys use are right behind that area. So it's always just been a shorter way to do it. But they wanted to accentuate this crowd because they had almost no entranceway at all. It was just at the very end of Madison Square Garden, they had, what was that, a 15-foot high video wall that stopped so that the people in the bleachers above it could see over it. And that's even when Cena came out. He was like, well, there are people everywhere. They wanted to accentuate that crowd. They got as many in there as they could. I don't know if we have official word, but it had to be with that size entrance somewhere between 17,000 and 18,000, would you not think?
They made Madison Square Garden look bigger than it could be. I mean, it didn't look like Madison Square Garden. And again, a lot of it is, like you said, the construction, the locker removed, the exit signs not there. But they made it look, I'm thinking, even if you could put in a long runway, where the hell would it be that it would be that long? But yeah, it looked impressive.
Yeah, but nevertheless, they had shots of, Paulie and his bunch get to pull in the building and get out of their SUV, but Cody was shaking hands outside. I've told you what it used to be like. You could, if you were a babyface, you didn't dare go out on the fucking streets. But anyway, they played the package of Cena winning the Intercontinental title, and then the big Cena chant had already started, and they played the music. It got a big pop. And here comes Cena, and he had them. This was another one. They were here to see the big last MSG appearance. They could have shit in the middle of the ring, and it wouldn't have mattered. And the chants and cheers got louder and louder as they went on, and he didn't over milk it because they were doing it anyway. He was, he didn't do anything to discourage it too much. But the whole thank you, Cena, after the big introduction, the last Raw, the last Garden. And then all he had to do was thank them. And, it's you that I should say thank you to. And now the champ is here. And they chanted some more. And then before he had time to start his heartfelt speech, and it sounded like he was really going to say something profound, Dominik's music plays. And here he comes, and I don't know how long that entryway was, but he milked that goddamn entrance. He was chewing his gum and just, wandering on down. And the people were on him because he's spoiling the moment. And this, I think probably the Cena retirement, Brian, before we go any further, what do you think? Has the Cena retirement done any more for anybody than Dominik so far?
Big night for AJ Styles. Cody beat Cena for the title, but again, Cena beat him, and Cody's booking has never recovered from everything with the beginning of the Cena heel turn.
But I mean, did more for, because I mean, with AJ Styles, it was a good match. Yeah. AJ's already been there and he's retired next year.
The Punk match was a really good match, but it didn't do anything for Punk. Yeah, I guess you could say Dominik's the one guy on the roster, the young guy. He's in his 20s that Cena did anything for on this run.
And so naturally, it doesn't have to be brain science or rocket surgery at this point. Dominik wants a rematch. Cena asks the people, do you want it right here, right now? Of course they do. And Dominik says, no, I'm not doing it your way again. I'm doing it my way. And then the fans chant "Shut the fuck up," and Cena says they're saying "Choco Fun Cup."
That was good.
It was good, but they bleeped him anyway. And Dominik wants the title match at Survivor Series in San Diego, his home turf, and Cena agrees, but I got to have a match tonight and I see an opponent, so no title, just face me one-on-one right now. And the music plays, and here comes Finn and JD. And I know what they were doing, what they had to do. They're putting John in a 6-man tag so the people get to see his comeback and his moves and a people pleaser like they're about to do. But boy, when Finn and JD came out, people weren't like, they were kind of like, ah. But I mean, they made it good, and it ended up just fine. But they have the 3-1 on Cena, but then the music plays. Here comes Sheamus, and he makes a comeback, but they stop him. And then here's the music, and Rey Mysterio is out, and the baby faces dumped the heels, and Cena challenged for the 6-man tag, and the referee hit the ring, and the bell rang, and we went to break. But at least we've set it up, and 20 minutes is about over 20 minutes. But it was great because it's a completely sold out mass of people in Madison Square Garden going bonkers and ape shit for John Cena. Last time, it's good television. Dominik gets the rub, and we set him up in a 6-man tag with 4 people that we could. Well, Ray is fine, but the other people we could take or leave, but it is what it is. How do you tell me? What did you think?
I enjoyed the energy. I love the Dominik Cena thing. You know, it's another. Other than Ray, has Dominik had another veteran that he can kind of talk to the way he's talked to Cena? It makes it ridiculous, but it also just works perfectly.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed that. You know, setting up the 6-man was a bit deflating. Before we talk about that, the question I have for you, what do you do now in San Diego? Dominik versus Cena for the Intercontinental title. Is it as simple as Dominik wins it back as Cena's going away?
Therein lies the problem, because the last time is now. The last actual match is going to be December 13th on the Saturday night's main event, which is obviously not going to be, and we've talked about this, as important an event now that it's just on Peacock, whatever, than a big show like Survivor Series. At the same time, I was thinking Gunther's going to win this tournament, and maybe Cena puts Gunther over on the way out. But now Cena's got the Intercontinental title. Is that a way to get the Intercontinental title back to Gunther so he has some bragging rights? We haven't established whether or not that would have to be for the title now. But I don't think it hurts Dominik to lose in San Diego. Oh, it's too close to my hometown. And I think it would be, I don't know, it'd be kind of blah if he just won it back. But does he do something to hamper Cena for his very last match in the process of getting disqualified or coming up short from actually winning the belt? But I don't think that it's necessary for Dominik's long-term success that he has to win in San Diego. But I wouldn't have John lose his last 2 in a row, because then it makes it, each one mean less.
Good opening segment. We'll see. I mean, other than Gunther, is there anyone else in the tournament you'd want to see in a John Cena last match? I don't know. One last question about this and we'll move on. If Gunther put over John Cena in his last match, does it hurt Gunther at all?
I don't think it helps him, and I think they probably wouldn't make the winner of the tournament Gunther if he wasn't going to beat Cena. I don't see why you would. They could have figured out something else to do.